Today on Car Traction we are at Wem for the 2023 Vehicles of Interest. We came here a few times before and it is a great little show. All the cars, all the lovely classic cars such as this Consul Capri GT on some very nice wires amassed in this first field, and then they go on a little parade around the town centre of Wem. So first of all, let's have a look at some of the cars parked up now. There will be a lot more here coming, but I just thought, wow, there's not too many people around. Let's get a close look at some of the lovely classics that will be taking part in the parade. There's a Polo CL and a Mark 1 Escort on steel wheels. Little look on the interior, extra little tacker there as well. Interesting little mod. Also, I quite like this little mirror there. That's an interesting modification. Plenty stickers on this one. Got a tiger in his tank, not literally obviously. Here's a fantastic Wolseley 1500. I really like these alongside the Riley 1.5s. If you've been watching for a while, you will know I really have a soft spot for these cars. Lovely example there. I really like the colours of these as well, light blue and dark blue. Very much suited. A very jolly happy car there. An Audi, a GT3 spec Bentley, a very dramatic car with quite a decent sized wing, I'd say, on the back. I also quite like the diffuser. I presume this is a proper racing car, but I've never seen one in a livery like this before, as the Peugeot 205 rolls past in front. Another local car on the end here is the fantastic Heinkel. We can actually get a good view of the interior just looking from the back. One thing I noticed is this is a bubble car, but it's probably a similar width and size to the likes of the Austin 7 Ruby just beyond it. Quite an actually large size of quarter light on there as well. Obviously the whole door opens at the front for the two passengers, maybe just squeeze three in if they're a bit small. I always love seeing these oddball cars. First pre-war car of the day, the Austin 7 Ruby Saloon with the folding back roof, good for a summer's day, but it might just rain a little bit today, so we'll have to see. If it were me, I'd keep that roof up. Lovely patinated condition. Here is a fantastic Standard Vanguard Phase 1, extremely rare car. This is a 1A actually with this style of wheel. We've also got a Standard Motor Club badge just like that on ours. We're in the Standard 8 here today, but absolutely beautiful car there. Really love that. Nice to see another Standard here. We're in the little 8 over there.
Yeah. Car bought from Mourns in Wem.
Is it? Wow, so it's always been around the local area?
Always, yeah.
How long have you had this one then?
Like 40 years. Standard or something.
Yes, we got a little Standard 8, just that black one over there. Yeah. It's nice to see another Standard. This is a 51 car, this one.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely example. I think, am I right in saying those grills are quite hard to find?
Definitely.
Now? Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Well, the later model, the Phase 2, had a different grille.
I really love that. It's such a rare car. These are column shift, am I right in saying?
Yeah.
Are they? So is it a 3-speed, 4-speed?
3-speed with overdrive.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Do you get to many shows in this one?
Yeah, well, I got some being told at 90 as well, so I alternate.
Oh, wow.
We live in Whitchurch, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's nice to see another Standard out.
Yeah. Right, there's only 2 here.
Well, we can hope. We can hope there'll be more.
A lot of modern stuff for you, isn't there?
Really? Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you have a Vehicles of Interest, because it's not strictly classic cars, is it? But certainly, like me and my dad, we definitely prefer this sort of thing. The older cars and the Moggy Traveller.
Nice to hear
we
a
do
young
love.
Chap that's interested in this.
Thanks. Well, yeah, we're quite into it.
The trouble is, as years go by, people like your age, they wouldn't buy this. They'd buy something like
exactly.
there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the Audi or they're a lot more into that. But
you've got an interest in the old.
No, don't worry. Hopefully one day I'll be bubbling around in that Standard over there.
Yeah.
Beyond the VR6 Golf is a fantastic little Moggy Mine 1000. Some nice spot lamps on the front of that, and an interesting little Fiat 126. There were a couple of these here last year as well. Fascinating little car, rear-engined in a very jazzy little livery. Also very jazzy interior. I bet what a nightmare that is to keep clean. White seats are never a good idea in my opinion, but really sweet little car there. I really like that. Beyond that is a more modern Porsche. Around here is not a Moggy Minor 1000 but a Series 2 Morris Minor, because it has a split screen at the front, slightly earlier variant than the likes of the 1000 that came after. Fantastic original condition as well. You can see the split screen on the front here, great car there. Very rare VW, and there's a very modified Capri over here in blue, Mini on the end, and a fantastic old Daimler Tourer, and I'm sure it's really beautifully made and extremely comfortable. Really like that. Just what a gorgeous car that is. Over here is a fantastic little Fiat. I believe this is actually a 600 perhaps. Yes it is. Hi, I'm Florence the Machine, first registered in England in 1966. 57 years old this car is, a 767 4-cylinder water-cooled engine of 25 brake horsepower. So our Standard has 3 more brake horsepower. But this is quite a bit lighter, but I mean, why are we comparing performance stats for an old car like this? Really characterful though nonetheless. Actually a very shiny stainless exhaust on the end. That probably sounds quite fruity. I really like that. Let's have a look at the interior through the back. Very similar to the likes of our 4CV in there. Very simple but also very cute at the same time. Fantastic Land Rover here. Series 1 and a Riley RM. Perhaps some swapped lights on the back, I think. Let's have a look at the interior. Really quality interior in these. I do like them. So graceful as well. Nice colour scheme in blue and white. Lovely car, very graceful. Interesting little Peugeot 205 here. Crazy interior in there, wow. Let's have a look at the back for the model of this car. This is a GR. Don't know what that means, I'm not going to lie. Mercedes, more modern car. This is a Vehicles of Interest event, so you do get a lot coming here. Let's have a closer look at some of the kit on this Ford Escort. It's a Mark 1 car, but it looks very modified. Mini light spare wheel in the back, and I presume that's a fuel tank in the boot there. This is all very rally modified. It had a nice intake sound on the way in. Really nice example there. These just look brilliant on the mini light wheels, don't they? Beyond that is a fantastic Moggy van. Love to see some of the small commercials. Some of these were actually Austin, so I'll have to have a look around the front. Oh no, this is an Austin, not a Moggy Minor van. You can see, well, obviously there's the Austin badge, but there's the Austin distinctive grille, which means this is not a Morris Minor van. This is an Austin, perhaps 500 weight van, these were known as. But basically the same as the likes of the Morris. It's a really lovely example. Next to the very purposeful looking Mark 1 Escort. More modern Lotus. Next to an Austin Gypsy, I believe these are known as. Here's a Triumph TR3A. And a fantastic little Lotus Elan. I think the coupes are a really pretty little car. I really like these. Definitely less is more attitude with these cars. They're just beautiful, aren't they? Just look at that interior in there. I've seen this car a couple of times before, and it doesn't get old, because that is just lovely, isn't it? Look how much smaller it is compared to the likes of the Austin Healey 3000. Let's have a look at this then. 3 litre straight 6 in this car. Very quintessentially British sports car. Nice sound as well. Next to another very popular sports car, but this time from Germany, the Porsche 911. Let's have a quick look along the front now. Here's the engine of the Bentley. I believe these are like a W16 or something. Or they might actually be a V8 for the likes of the GT3 cars, but the road cars are sometimes 16. I don't know as much about these mods, I'm afraid. Beyond those is a set of Citroen C2s and the modern Vauxhall. And the lovely little VW camper. This one is fully kitted out. Had a look at it earlier. Fantastic vehicle there. Really love that. No, it's alright, you can carry on. I also really like the VW, like, I don't know what to call it, like the bag around the tyre on the front. Just really lovely kitted out. It's also got a bit of a speaker system in it, so very cool indeed. Triumph 1500 here. An R33 Nissan GTR, rolling back very slowly. MGYB, the world's first. Very interesting car there. This is from 1952, seen it quite a few times. Immaculate car. Let's have a quick look at the engine. All nice and easy to get to. That's what I like about separate wing cars and the likes of the pre-warish design. You can get at everything very easily. Ford Fiesta, quite a sporty one. Also the little Standard looking a bit dirty, but I guess that's how it would have looked in period. That's a good excuse. Here's Mum in the MX-5, a Bentley Turbo R that has rolled in beside us as the dog runs past very quickly. A little mini pickup, quite like that actually. And another Consul Capri on the end, another rare variant. Quite a lovely car actually, quite characterful. More conventional British classic now, a hardtop Triumph Stag. Those look lovely with hardtops, don't they? Manual car as well, really nice example. More minis rolling in. I've seen this Clubman before. You can hear the whine of straight cut gears from this race-ish modified car. Very distinctive sound. That looks like a bit of fun, doesn't it? More road spec Cooper there, quite a late car. Perhaps a Mark IV, Mark III, I'm not sure. Lovely condition as well. Wow, they're really streaming in now. How many minis are rolling in now? I've seen that car before here. Very interesting example with the little bike on the top. Nice to see all the different ways people customise these. A Clubman Estate, that looks really sharp actually. I really like that. And finally, another slightly modified one. The classic 3 bubble cars are here again, queuing up. These look brilliant altogether, don't they? I hope they go and park with that little Heinkel that we saw earlier. The one on the back is actually a Heinkel as well. These are just brilliant, aren't they? I love them. Something very tasty coming up next, an old Mercedes Tourer. That is fantastic, perhaps just post-war. Huge rear hinge doors. That is so lovely, isn't it? A 170S it says on the back. Such a graceful car. Closer look at the fantastic Triumph Stag. Very interesting style of rims on it as well. Looks really sharp with the hardtops. I probably prefer them with hardtops actually. I think this looks really nice. Nice pair of pipes on the back as well. That looks quite sharp, doesn't it? This is a manual car, I presume overdrive as well. So a really nice example there. That is very cool indeed. Next to the lovely Daimler and the multitude of minis. Let's have a closer look at this little military pair in. There's the long wheelbase Series 3 Land Rover, and this I believe is a VW Kubelwagen. Apologies if my pronunciation isn't great. Pretty sure it is, because VW often had the floor hinged, if you can see, accelerator there, and I can see a little VW logo on it. So very interesting car, and like a bit of a desert dune camouflage there. Very interesting relic from the wartime. Here's the Clubman Estate, really like that car actually, and all the other minis looking fantastic together. Let's have a closer look at this mini then. First of all, cosmic alloy wheels, which really suit these cars in my opinion. And there's the bike on top, all sorts of stickers going on here. Wow, the interior is even crazy. Look at all the rivets going around there. Great little car. I don't quite know what this strip there is for, but let's not question it. Also a rear mounted spot lamp at the back. I like the old fire extinguisher as well actually. I didn't notice that. A Pyrini fire extinguisher, probably predates the car by a couple of decades. I also quite like the touch of the spanners on the bonnet. Let's have a close look at some of the bikes now. There's a Yamaha racing bike from 1984 here. Beyond that, a few more lovely bikes. I like this BSA here, and also the James Captain 200. I like the James logo just on the side of the engine there. This is also quite an interesting bike. It's got a Watsonian sidecar on it. I'm not sure I'd want to be in there, but it certainly looks the part on it. Nice mascot as well. On the side of a perhaps pre-war BSA. Nice little horn on it as well. Great oily rag condition. Perhaps like a 250, 275. I like the saddle as well. Dad will probably have pointed that out on his video. Nice little Watsonian sticker on the back as well. That's a Fordson Super Major rolls in. There's a little Honda Monkey bike here, and a beautiful Vincent. That looks like 500cc or somewhere around that. That is a stunning bike, isn't it? I also quite like this little Greaves on the end with the Villiers engine on their Greaves Sports, maybe like a bit of a sportier bike or a trials bike. That's quite an interesting little one. It sounded two-stroke and looked it by the blue smoke coming out the back. But a really interesting little bike. I like that shape and era of them, but that Vincent is just amazing, isn't it?
Tyler spent all day on Friday polishing.
A fantastic Ford here, executive, real high market saloon here. I'm going to have to keep talking because there's a bit of music and I don't want to get copyrighted. Mini Moke here, very rare variant, a Ford Focus RS and an MG Midget, quite a late car with a rubber bumper. These had the Triumph Spitfire 1500 running gear in them. Our first MGB Roadster, not actually many MGBs here today, so it's nice to see our first one. Usually see many of these. This is actually an overdrive car, so perhaps it is a little later than it looks. I'm not sure, but overdrive is quite a rare variant of these, and a little Triumph TR3A on the end. Now, annoyingly, there is quite a bit of music playing, so I'm going to have to keep talking and do these clips in short bursts. There's another MGB here, a beautiful old Daimler, really graceful car. You can see the distinctive sort of ripples on the grille that comes with all of these lovely Daimlers. Likely to be a pre-selector car as well, this one. A beautiful example of a just post-war car there. Also a very nice 1600 GT Mark 1 Escort and a lovely Morris Minor pickup. And a couple of 100Es. There's a Prefect here. The saloon car looking very lovely, and that little Thames van. This is a very nice little period correct commercial, perhaps a 500 weight or so. Also a beautiful pre-Royal Riley rolling in now. That maybe looks like a 9 Monaco or something of that ilk. It looks really lovely. I love the look of those. That'll likely be a pre-selected gearbox in those, same as those Daimlers we saw over there. I'm afraid I'm having to cut out some of these clips today just because of music, but hopefully when we get to the likes of the parade we will get to see a few more. I think that's a Monaco bodied car, really lovely example. While we may not get a chance to look at them, it is worth acknowledging there are plenty vintage tractors here today at Wem Vehicles of Interest among the classic cars. Huge Ford Thunderbird making its way in now. 1966, that is cool, isn't it? Austin Gypsy coming in now. I mistakenly called a Champa Gypsy earlier, so apologies for that. Lovely Triumph Spitfire just pausing there for some reason. Beautiful chrome on that car. It's a Mark III car. That's lovely, isn't it? Sounds quite nice as well behind the Chimera. Off on his way to Slate. We've seen that one flying there around before, but I think soon the parade will be going off. Excuse me, I've got a wine going in my mouth. So I think we'll go down into the town and see if we can capture the parade. Here we are on the run then, the fantastic TR5 in white, sounding fantastic 6-cylinder. That does sound good, doesn't it? Singer Vogue Estate, very cool as well. Bugatti replica, Triumph Stag. All the minis going out now, modified MX-5 in red. Sounding quite fruity, an 840i BMW, Bentley Turbo R, the Fiesta, and a couple of Rally Citroen C2s shooting off, and the absolutely immaculate Triumph Spitfire. Sounding very lovely indeed. Mitsubishi Evo. Very rare Jensen there, a couple bit more
Majestic cars now, Bentley Sports Saloon, lovely, and the Daily. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit muffled, but I've just turned the mic around so you can hear the lovely engine sounds of these old cars. I think it might just be a diesel. Let's see, is there anything old coming up? Riley RM, very lovely indeed. Really graceful car, P4 and a Spitfire. Really nice car there, 328 GTS. Hopefully you can hear me with the mic turned around. They're a great little pair. Happy Land Rover. A very lovely Series 2 Boggy Miner, Mini, and the little bubble cars. Some Ruby. Goes along quite well, doesn't it? Ford Focus Mini Mode. That's a cat for the thing, isn't it? Skin Champ. 205. Mark 1 Escort. Very cool. It tastes like a motorbike actually. Modern Lotus. Lovely Moggy Miner pickup. Brilliant GMC. Really lovely sounding 6-cylinder there. It's the Porsche de parts. All the cars are coming back round. Well, I've turned my microphone around now, so hopefully you could hear me before, but I'm sure you can hear me now. There's the random out of the blue Rover P4. Don't remember seeing that one in the show.
And another out of the blue spot is this fantastic old Mercedes. I love the look of the old stack light saloons. That's a real rare spot, and you don't usually see those out of the blue. And here come the bubble cars. Let's have a close look at that Mercedes. All the cars are queuing in now. Apologies, this is actually a coupe, more than a saloon I guess. 250 CE automatic. What a rare spot that is. Really like that. Such a handsome car as well. And here's the Rover P4 that also came up out of the blue. Another lucky find. And here are all the cars that we've already seen before going back into the show. A few lovely classic British sports cars here. Triumph TR4A looking fantastic on those rims. I really like the steel wheel style. Beyond that is a slightly modified recessed grille MG. This has been chromed on the recessed grille, unlike Grandad's, which is just the usual matte black, which I did make a very interesting video about. The thing continues with this Triumph Stag in white, and wow, look at that GT6, absolutely fantastic in red. Let's have a closer look at this one. This looks lovely, doesn't it? The iconic hump in the bonnet to accommodate the big 2-litre engine. Surprisingly small inside, but actually quite comfortable. I've been in one of these before. Very practical as well. Lots of stuff can get in the back, including an old camping stove just there, and my reflection. Great burble coming out of these exhausts. The 2-litre straight six. Really pretty car, I think these are, next to another Stag. And I just thought I had to risk the music copyright and have a close look at that, because that is just fantastic. I also quite like the look of this old MGA over here, in a bit of a racing spec perhaps. Nice, are those larger maybe? Painted steel wheels look a bit larger than standard. Nice number, a couple of stickers, really suits this sort of car. Very white interior with an MG racing helmet, that really suits it, doesn't it? This is just fantastic, isn't it? Surprisingly actually, it's only a 1600, so not a twin cam or anything like that. And it's actually perhaps a slightly later style of grille though, which would indicate a later car, but it's actually been really nicely modified. And I think that is a very sharp looking car. Just beyond that is the great Fiat Panda. Let's have a close look at this then, real rarity. A Panda 1000 CL in green. This really pops out, doesn't it? Very cute and boxy in its own way. I think it's cute. Some other people might think it's ugly, but I think these are absolutely great. Only 11 left of these. This is one of 2 on the road. Nice sunroof as well, actually. There's 2 separate sunroofs on this car, isn't it? That's probably quite a rare spec, isn't it? But very cool little find there. Really lovely Volvo P1800 here. Here's the Riley Monaco. I still think it's a Monaco. Let's have a little look at the engine. I'm pretty sure it'll be matched up to a pre-selector box. Let's have a look. Little twin carb 4-cylinder. Yep, pre-selector box in this car. Lovely example. But let's have a look at this, because wherever we go, we just can't avoid this car recently. We saw it at the Alton Park Drift Day, where it was one of the most sideways cars of all of them there. And then we saw it at the Malpas Evening Meet as well. We've been seeing this thing absolutely everywhere, and it's an epic car. It sounds quite good, and the driver is very talented at piloting it very sideways. But I can't get over how often we see that now. In the last 2 weeks, we must have seen it 3 times, next to the VR6 Golf and the lovely Healey next to the Porsche. Little 70s pairing over here, an HC Viva next to a Hillman Avenger, and a fantastic little Austin A35 van with windows in it. Dad used to have this one a few years ago. I remember it quite well. Perfect original condition. Dad always likes to see this one, and he always remembers it in our bottom garage, but it's nice to see it out on the road. It's just quite funny seeing one of our old cars out and about. The roof's down on the stunning Mercedes now in the sun. Also have to have a closer look at this fantastic Mark III Spitfire, very clean in white. I like the earlier style of the steering wheels with the sprung steering wheel and the nice dials. I really like the earlier style of these. The Mark III was the one with the high bumper before they went to the likes of the Mark IV and 5 or 1500 with the chopped off tail, and I think the Mark III is probably one of the best looking cars. It did have the Mark 1 and 2 which had a lower bumper, which also did look very nice, but I think the Mark III is a really sharp looking car. And this is no exception. I love this one. Actually, a little guilty pleasure of mine is this Escort van. I quite like this. Let's have a look at the interior. All very modified. It's kind of a sleeper sort of thing, but I actually quite like that. It sounded quite good on the run, so it gave a little bit of a squirt. I don't know if the camera caught that or not, but I actually quite like that. Oh, it's for sale. Oh, heck, this must have had a lot of work done to it though, to get it like this, because while it may look fairly standard and slow on the outside, I think, to be honest, it's had a lot of mods underneath quite quietly, and it must go quite well. But I think with that, that's just about our day done at the 2023 Wem Vehicles of Interest. I'm sorry, I've got another wine going in my mouth, so I hope my voice doesn't sound weird at all. It's been a great day with us in the Standard and MX-5. Both cars have been getting a lot of attention. Few people recognise. It's always funny when people come up to us. It does remind us that people do watch our videos, and if you're watching this, please do remember to subscribe, comment below, and check out more videos on the channel homepage. But for now, from this video, that's all. Bye for now.